Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Cleary. I'm the Chief Medical Officer at East London Trust, and I'm going to talk to you today about how we used a campaign entitled Break the Rules to engage our staff in a different type of conversation. And I'm doing that using the medium of PechaKucha. And who in the audience has actually done one of these before? Yes. Well, okay, very well done. Well, I haven't done one before, so I'm sort of thinking what could possibly go wrong. So it means chit-chat in Japanese. It's an example of an onomatopoeic Japanese expression. Japanese is actually full of these types of expressions. This one is zunkuri mukkuri, which means stout or portly. And I'm decided that the next time that I'm in Tokyo and I'm being shoved onto the subway by a man with white gloves, I'm going to listen to hear if he says zunkuri mukkuri as he pushes me on. But I know he's thinking it. Okay. So we have great staff where we work. They come to work to do a really good job, the best job that they possibly can. But there are things in the system which get in the way of delivering the excellent care that they really want to. A number of things, but including sort of bureaucratic rules, a need to sort of conform to standards which actually don't really help, a need to deliver data which is only used to sort of look at, a need to sort of meet performance targets which actually don't really impact upon the quality of care that we're providing to our patients. So we decided to take an innovative approach. And these are two things that we didn't do. We didn't send out an email to our staff. I got 23,450 emails last year. None of them were inspiring, okay? We didn't form a committee because a committee is not really good at innovating. This is our visibility wall, our QI visibility wall, which recently won an award for the artist. The important thing about this is it's supposed to be fun. Yeah? This is about QI. This is interesting, light-hearted, engaging approach to sort of showing people what's happening in the organisation. So we had a teaser campaign. You came into work, up popped this anarchist saying, "Are you prepared to break the rules?" And a message saying that the CEO's email had been hacked. And the whole idea was to sort of start getting people interested without actually knowing what was happening. That's our CEO and I were launching the campaign. We decided to do that in Luton. And so we covered trust headquarters and red tape. Unfortunately, it did end up looking like someone had broken the windows and we had bought some cheap red sellotape to cover it up. So you came into the trust headquarters and this is what you saw. Red tape. Again, you didn't really know what this was about. But the important thing was actually getting you interested and thinking about what was going on. Red tape, obviously, is a very obvious symbol of bureaucracy. Here we are in a clinical area. We were slightly nervous about this because we didn't know what visitors would think if they came in and sort of saw these signs up on the walls, but actually no one ever said anything about it. No one complained. I think it's fair to say not everyone was in on it, so staff didn't know about it either. Some staff did. We had a few clinical champions. They were wearing sort of temporary tattoos. A few patients were really sort of a bit cautious about this. They were worried that we were asking people to break the rules. And we weren't. We were asking people to actually really tell us what the rules were that were getting in the way. So this is how you fed back to us. So you had a choice. You could write suggestions, moderately popular. You could send us an electronic suggestion, quite popular. I realise that if you're born after 1980, you won't realise that that is a telephone, but it is. And actually, we got no calls. This was the most popular. It was a video booth. And so you could go into the video booth and you could tell us what you thought. And you could just do it as you, or you could put a mask on of one of the executive directors, yeah? And that really, really did catch people's imagination. So we got hundreds of ideas, and we collated them. We got a panel of judges, patients, service users, carers to sort of judge them, pull them together, so that we could then sort of go to our staff and tell them some of the suggestions, and then get them to vote on the ideas that were suggested. So these are some of them. Email pay slips to reduce costs. I particularly like No Email Friday. I'd like no email ever, but actually that's probably not popular. But no email 1 day a week, I think really would actually make people's lives happier and things much more efficient. So having done that, we had a QI conference. We showed everybody what had been suggested, and people then got to vote on it. And then we used that as the basis for sort of the next phase of planning, which of course is the important bit, which is actually bringing around the change. So, on the intranet now, every day, you get to see a new rule that we're aiming to change or break, I guess. Please note, there's no performance management of this. There are no action plans. There are no reg-rated documents. What did we learn? Actually, if you take a really innovative approach, you can really engage your staff. They loved it. It was fun, yes? And they got the chance to tell us seriously what they thought. Doing it under the wire did make it difficult for some people because actually some of this came as a bit of a surprise. So we're on slide 20. Excellent. So I hope you've enjoyed this and found this to be useful, and I'm happy to talk to people about it after. If it was the onomatopoeia that you were interested in, may I recommend Jazz Up Your Japanese with onomatopoeia for all levels. Yes. Shitsurei shimasu. Thank you.